SEAL duty, even in its training, is dangerous. The fact that SEALs are relatively unknown and suffered only light casualties in Vietnam testifies not to the lack of danger or spooky missions, but to the fact that they performed their cloak and dagger job so well. Believing that wars fought by incapable people waste capable people's lives, SEALs may be the most capable fighting men of all time. Training is the thread that all SEALs have in common, and it is what separates the SEAL from all others.
You'll be exposed to pain and punishment and other little devices that we'll think of for one reason and one reason only: to make you the type of person we need to get the job done, no matter what the job is.
It's the most rigorous military training in the world. The United States Navy calls it Special Warfare Training. Basic Underwater Demolition SEAL training is more commonly known by its acronym, BUDS. It lasts for nearly 6 months, and traditionally fewer than 1/3 of those who start will graduate. Those who do will be assigned to one of 6 SEAL teams at either Little Creek, Virginia, or Coronado, California, where BUDS training begins. The course requires top physical condition and a mental attitude that is found in only a small percentage of military men. What stands out most about SEAL trainees is their intense motivation and willingness to voluntarily take part in a program that will tax them to the absolute limits.
No matter how bad my lungs hurt, my body hurts, I'll go until I pass out, and then I just can't go anymore. But I'll get back up and take off again.
Personally, I never had any doubts on whether or not I would quit or not. I knew I wouldn't quit. They'd have to kill me before I'd quit.
You want to make the team. You don't want to be a quitter.
To make the teams, as SEAL groups are called, enrollees receive extensive training in special combat techniques, advanced demolitions, field communications, and small arms handling. In addition to being qualified for underwater demolition, SEALs must be qualified parachute jumpers. This range of expertise makes every BUDS graduate into a combination frogman, demolitions expert, paratrooper, and commando. Both officers and enlisted men undergo the same treatment in the grueling BUDS training course. It's the Navy's way of drawing out certain characteristics required for unconventional warfare.
There's a tremendous leadership responsibility in being a SEAL officer. And in this program, if you don't have that quality of leadership, you're not going to last very long, because the enlisted people that support you are as capable as you are, and sometimes more capable.
Successful completion of SEAL training establishes the fact that a man will not only endure on a special mission, he will prevail. The major test during the first phase of training is Hell Week. In classic understatement, it is officially called Motivation Week by the Navy. Any more than 2 hours sleep total for the entire week is considered luxurious treatment. Instructors push the candidates to the limit. It is during this week that the greatest number of men drop out, often over 50%.
When you say to people that you spent a whole day and a whole night running, doing games, playing games in the mud, it doesn't sound like much, but when you really think about it, the mud's thick and heavy, and you're tired, and you haven't had any sleep. The mud is physically exhausting to your muscles. The mud seems to be one of many ways of making you very uncomfortable and getting you used to being in a very uncomfortable, unpleasant situation, so that when you're actually operating in the real thing, if you have to encounter anything like the mud flats, well, you've already been there. It's no big thing.
Aside from the heavy physical demands of BUDS training, students are taught how to conduct and record hydrographic surveys. They must learn land navigation, small unit tactics, patrolling, ambush techniques, rappelling, individual infantry weapons, and military explosives. In combat scuba training, students are taught to become combat swimmers, using swimming and diving techniques as a means of transportation to their combat objectives. BUDS training runs on individual talent and a spirit of cooperation. The goal is men capable of operating in effective team units. No loners make it through BUDS. You learn to do things together. No member of a SEAL team has ever been left behind on a mission.
A lot of it just goes back to knowing, you know, what each other's been through and what you might have to go through So you got to take care of your buddies.
SEAL training is devised on the theory that a man is capable of 10 times more physical output than normal if he is properly trained and motivated. Strength alone is not enough to get by. It takes an attitude. One class graduated no one.
When you're running a program like ours, we don't have to get 100 people through it. If 3 people get through it, they're the 3 people we need.
SEALs have a mindset that likes challenge. They want to be special, and they're willing to pay the price for it. A SEAL, above all, is a man who doesn't know when he is beaten.
I haven't forgotten any faces. Names, I remember them as soon as I hear them, but I can't just call the list off. But all the faces are there. Everybody looks the same in my mind as they did the day last time I saw them. We're all together yet. In our minds, we are all together. And I don't think there's one of us that have forgotten any of us.
I'd tell anybody who wanted to be a SEAL, go for it. You'll certainly get a chance to find out who you are.
I was too psyched up most of the time in the teens to ever be scared of anything. In fact, most of the time I was disappointed in some of the things I did because I didn't get any more jazz out of it than I did.
I've always felt that the worst thing you could ever do was to end up dead on the highway, having run into somebody, but ending up dead on somebody's beach someplace for something that you believed in made a lot of sense.
The SEALs in Vietnam were the physically and mentally toughest, most highly motivated, and well-trained troops in the world. Small in numbers, SEAL personnel never exceeded 200 in country at any time in Vietnam. However, SEAL team accomplishments are legion. 3 Medal of Honor winners, 3 Navy Crosses, 50 Silver Stars, 400 Bronze Stars, 350 Navy Commendation Medals, and 100 Navy Achievement Awards. SEALs could go anywhere and do anything at any time.